I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
We are the Made in China podcast. My name is China Mike.
And my name is Rico. I want to do the Welcome to Made in China podcast. It's just, it's Rico over here and with the guy, the China Mike. No, we're just hanging out and having a few brewskis at Beer Hardcore in Lieda. Shout out to Beer Hardcore. And this podcast is what? 5 essentials to always have with you in China.
Let's start with 5.
Start with 5. It might be more.
Yeah.
We have no rules. This is not radio.
This is not radio.
All right. So what's? I think you wrote down that. Did you write it down? Or no?
I did. Forgot what I wrote down, but yeah, we wrote down.
Super professional.
Yeah, just a list of stuff that you should have while you're in China. I know a lot of people are interested in getting out here, seeing what there is to offer, getting your projects off the ground.
Yes, sir.
And we have been here for a while, man. So some stuff you need if you're going to be in China for an extended period of time. Most of this stuff is obvious, but we can expand a little bit on why it is needed as much as it is in China. Rico, what do you say is first?
Number 1, essential. This is very obvious, but you need a smartphone. And I know there's some people out there who's like, no, I don't want to spend X $100 on a smartphone, but it's important. There's going to be a lot of apps. There's going to be a lot of reasons why you need to. In fact, most people in China do not text. They don't even make phone calls. It's mostly done. Everything's done on WeChat. Mm-hmm. So you need a smartphone with a data plan.
Yeah, I mean, for smartphone, you could extend it out to a bunch of different things. You could even say that something like WeChat is also an essential, even though it's on your smartphone. WeChat is, we've talked about it before in the Made in China lost episodes. But don't
make me sad.
It's an absolute essential. It's a communication tool from Tencent. Some of you might have heard of QQ, but it's a company in China. It's basically like a WhatsApp application on your phone.
WhatsApp on steroids is what it is.
It's the shit, man, and it does everything that you would need a chat function to do. I swear by it. I even am at the point where when I go back to the States, I hate using the phone. I hate texting, and I can't understand when people aren't on WeChat because it's just the absolute best multitasking tool I've ever been accustomed to. So yeah, WeChat's essential, but yeah, you're right. Having a smartphone is key. When you are out at the markets, when you're going to factories, when you're trying to find your way to, go to some type of restaurant, you need to know where you're going. You need to be able to map things out. You need to be referencing documents and different points. You need to be taking videos and snapping photos, and all these things are capable via a smartphone. I think this is pretty obvious, but
yeah, especially when you don't speak the language. Sure. And you can't memorize street names necessarily. Taking a picture of an address instead of carrying a bunch of business cards, that's going to be essential. And then like WeChat has this feature where you just save your favorites, right? So, or you can save an address directly into WeChat and have that as a favorite. And then whenever you need to take a taxi, you just click on that address and show the taxi driver where you're going.
Right. Yes. So I would say a smartphone is the essential, and then some like branch off accessories that you would need along with that. Smartphone would be, like you said, WeChat, of course. Maybe a portable charger.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stuck out in the boons in China and have your phone die. That's a big pain in the ass.
That's another one of those things that I noticed when I got here. It was just like, if you talk to me in Canada, I'd have told you, man, like, I'm not on my phone that much. My phone never dies. Like, I don't need a power bar. Like it's not a big deal. It's just something about being here. I guess it's just, you're communicating more in WeChat. Maybe you're asking questions to people. Maybe you're talking to factories.
Yeah.
Maybe you're trying to find an address. Maybe you're, listening to music because the subway's too loud or something like that. You're just using your phone more. You're outside more, and your phone dies, man. Like 2 times a day, maybe. So having a power bar is essential because you're not always going to be in a position where you can sit down for half an hour and charge your phone.
Yeah. As a Westerner too, you're very accustomed to using certain applications and certain programs and certain platforms. Whether it be Facebook or for us in business, I mean Google is essential. Everybody communicates through Google. Most people have a Google mail address. We use Google Docs on the regular. And if you're in China, you can't use Google. They block the use of Google completely. So, I would say another extension of the smartphone is having a VPN, a working VPN. For those of you who don't know what a VPN is, it just basically reroutes your IP address and makes your phone think you're in another country. So if it thinks you're in Hong Kong or thinks you're in Los Angeles and you're actually in China, you can use it as a U.S. cell phone. But then another thing that's important is to make sure that you have, the best possible connection as well. For some of you who are coming to China soon or have been in China and know this, you can use what kind of companies? You can use China Unicom, you can use China Mobile, China Telecom, and we know through experience that Unicom is far more useful than China Mobile. You can, the speeds are quicker and you can get onto these applications easier.
It's more reliable.
Yeah.
I just got lucky when I got Unicom. This is the first company I walked into.
I was a China Mobile user for like 3 years. That was pretty rough, man. I'm going to be honest.
Brutal.
Yeah, the connection is just always an issue. I've been out in China since 2008, and it's just been a constant fight to stay connected, to be on top of things. Especially in our world where, you're just constantly connected and promoting your brand and promoting your business and taking inquiries is such a huge part of what we do. You need to be able to be online and be connected as other people are, and that's not always easy when you're here.
Next, I would say is you need a bag. You just need a little pouch, man pouch. Just something that you can take with you every day. Like I know it's gonna be unusual for some people because maybe you just like to keep things in your pocket and you like to be low key. But I think here when you're gonna be in crowds a lot, you cannot always be on point, especially when you start to get comfortable here. It's just safer to keep your phone, keep your wallet, keep your notebook, whatever it is, in your bag as opposed to walking around with these things in your pocket. I think most of the time when people have lost things in China, it's been because it was in their pocket. The only time I ever lost money was because my wallet was in my pocket. Like every other time it's been in my bag, I've been fine. Every time I've been in crowds, it's never been an issue. But I think that's essential. You're just gonna make your life easier if you have a bag with you.
I am a grown man. I am 30 plus years of age, and I wear a backpack every single day. Especially in China.
You don't have to take it that far. Man. Just get a duffel bag or something. I have a small duffel bag.
I'm a backpack kid still, man.
Just get yourself a nice little briefcase or a laptop bag, something like that. This is going to keep your essentials. What's next?
I would say for me, this is absolutely crucial. Is earbuds, headphones.
It's number 3, right?
For me, it's number 1. For me, it's absolutely number 1. I know that sounds silly, but having a set of earbuds is crucial.
An antisocial guy. He just doesn't like people.
It's nothing to do with being antisocial. If you live in a big city, if you stay in Beijing, if you stay in Guangzhou, you know all about what I'm talking about. Like sometimes it's hard as an expat here to maintain sanity. It takes a special person to be able to gut living in China out so long, and
What do you say to the hipster guys out there? Like, man, we're already disconnected from the world, bro. Just want to be in touch with the people.
Come do what I do, and I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
I just want to hear the sounds of the world, man.
But for me, being able to tune in to someone else's podcast or being able to jam out when I'm on the metro or I'm taking the train to another city or I'm just bobbing around the city just makes life so much more enjoyable. And I'm not saying be antisocial and not interact with people. You still have the ability to do that. But, for me, earbuds are essential. And then if you have to transition over to phone conversation or sending voice messages on WeChat, it's also a lot more convenient as well.
I think for me it would be more like when you're dealing with the insanity of living in a populated Chinese city, when you're taking the metro and you're in all these crazy situations on a day-to-day basis, listening to music or listening to a podcast kind of just calms you down a bit.
Absolutely.
That's more for me what it is.
That's what I was saying. It's for me, it's to maintain sanity and just.
Whereas when you're back home, whatever. Like when I was in Toronto, it's also a populated city. Sometimes I used to leave my headphones at home just so I could walk around and just take in the city.
Yeah.
But Toronto's fucking tame. Like it's pretty calm.
Yeah.
But here, if you're in the metro at 6 p.m. and you're being shoved in and out, then you might want to listen to a podcast that's going to make you laugh about the situation.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, podcasts have been my main form of entertainment since I've been out here, and mainly because I spend so much time out of the house, so much time going to to factories or places around the city, the markets, and so much time listening to podcasts that I got so into the Joe Rogan Experience and all the different comedians and personalities that came in off of his show that I remember when I went back to the States, I was in Pasadena and I went to a Death Squad show in Pasadena. After the show, they're kind of hanging out, just saying hi, taking pictures and stuff. And I walked up to Joe Rogan to say hello, and I was like surprised for 2 or 3 seconds there that he didn't know me. I was like, man, we're friends, man.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That all stems from me having this dependency to my earbuds in China.
Next is, I would say cash, cash money. Of course, I mean, I'm not just talking having money in your bank account. I'm talking about actually having money, like notes on your person. For me, before I came here, I always liked paying with things on my debit card or credit card. But in China, cash is king. You need to have cash on you. A lot of times you're gonna go places and they don't accept debit cards. Just people sometimes look at you weird if you want to pay with your bank card. That's changing slowly, but for the most part, cash is king. Like if you're taking a taxi, you're gonna pay cash. If you're at a restaurant, if you go to like a little small noodle shop or something like that, you want cash. So you need to have cash on you at all times.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because somewhere like in the States, it's moving away from that, or it's moved away from that completely, right?
Yep.
Where people only bring cards out and they can always swipe or run their card wherever they go. And here it's definitely not like that. Always need cash. A lot of places won't accept cards. Another thing to know, if you haven't been to China, is some people don't know this before they come out here. Is majority of places in mainland China don't accept foreign credit cards.
Yeah, they don't accept Visa.
Yeah, Visa, MasterCard.
They have their own, Union Pay, just in the same way.
Exactly.
They don't want to use a lot of the foreign applications because they have their own, right?
Right.
So it's the same way that eBay is not popular out here. People have Taobao.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're in Macau, if you're in Hong Kong, if you're in Taiwan, no problem. Also, some major hotels in mainland China, you can run a card. Some major shopping areas, but for the most part, no, you can't use a card. You need cash.
Right. That's the last. That was number 4. Number 5 would be what?
Well, we kind of lumped all those different things into the
into number 1.
Into the one, right? I think that we lumped it in heavily to the smartphone, but I think we'll mention it again. You're in China, you need WeChat.
Yep.
You need WeChat. It's huge. I think whenever I start a project with somebody, whenever someone has an inquiry or I start working with someone, of course, one of the first things I'm going to tell them is you need to get WeChat.
To create a WeChat group.
Absolutely. It's going to be so much easier for us to communicate. It's going to be easier for us to shoot you information, to communicate on the daily, to get factory feedback, with the quickness.
Yeah, people get surprised when factories don't reply to emails. It's because they just don't. It's not a common thing in China for people to check their emails as much. You know how many people I've met in China who don't link their emails to their phone, so they don't get emails instantaneously like everybody else, right? But they do check their WeChat constantly. So same thing that Mike was saying. A lot of times when we have projects, like literally every project we've done, I add the factory and I add the customer to our WeChat group, and then whatever information is being shared there, the customer can see when they wake up, and I can talk to the factories, instantaneously. So I think that's super important. Another thing that we didn't mention is WeChat has a function called WeChat Payments, and actually that also links with your Visa card. So this might be a kind of way around carrying cash, because it's actually pretty commonly accepted. So WeChat Payments is like you have an online wallet. You connect your debit card, bank card, Visa card, whatever credit card to your WeChat account. You can have it like with a double security lock, double password lock, and it just basically will have like a barcode on your phone. And when you go into like a 7-Eleven or whatever, you're buying something, you show them the barcode, they scan it, takes the money directly out of your bank account. You can send money directly to people in your WeChat circle. So whoever you have on your list, imagine like your WhatsApp list, your contacts list, you just click on Mike and then you send Mike X amount. So we pay our employees like that, whenever they buy food or something like that, and then I have to pay for the expenses. I don't really pay them via WeChat. You could pay rent with WeChat. It's that serious. So there's just a lot of functionalities that WeChat has that WhatsApp is missing and is never going to have.
Right.
I think there's a new app in Canada. I forget the name, but it was made by the University of Waterloo. It's also the same university that made BlackBerry, and they just got about, I think it was $20 million invested by Tencent, which owns WeChat. So they're calling that the North American WeChat. That should be interesting to blow up in the next few years.
What's it called?
I don't know the name. I forgot the name.
We'll check that out. Look it up for you. Yep. Get WeChat. Keep your smartphone. Carry cash. Always have earbuds. Doesn't hurt to have a notebook. Oh, one other thing we're going to mention is, I'm sure you've heard this before in dealing with China, but I think even to this day, it doesn't hurt to have a business card.
Yeah.
I think carrying a business card is still pretty common. I don't think it's 100% necessary, but I don't think it hurts you. I think it can only help you. When you're going on these factory visits, when you are meeting people, usually custom is, the two-hand delivery of the business card. And it's just little extra confirmation that you're prepared, that you're organized, and you're professional. So I think that's another thing that...
I think it's an image thing.
Absolutely,
I think mostly it's an image thing, because like if I give my business card, I doubt they're going to take the contact information from my business card. I think they have my contact information. We've probably spoken. Right. They have my phone number. They have my WeChat.
Yeah, and it's how the business card looks. It's what it says on the business card. That's also important.
For them, they're just like, oh, okay, this guy has a business card, therefore he has a business. It's just...
I don't know how big of a thing this is now, but when I first got out here a long time ago, there were so many of these expats, or these people they would meet, they would give you a business card with,
the Gmail account, Yahoo.
Mike Johnson, CEO of this company. Email Mike Johnson at yahoo.com.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of nonsense, but I do
Sweet
think it's
baby cutie underscore 89.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But I do think it helps. I think, like you said, it's good for presentation. Less people know you're prepared and slightly more professional.
Yeah, so I think that's the list. So if we just run down the list, number one was smartphone with the apps that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Number 2
And the
was
VPN, having the VPN with the smartphone.
VPN was number. I think VPN is number 2 because VPN is just smartphone and on your computer.
Next one was bag, having a bag somewhere where you can carry all your valuables and necessities.
Yeah, that's number 3, and number 4 is what?
Earbuds. Having headphones.
Number 5.
Number 5 was cash, and then we also mentioned business cards as something that could help you out here.
Right, so it's
Your time in China.
5 plus essentials. I don't want to change the title. I'm gonna keep it as 5. So 5 plus essentials that you need when you're out here in these mean Guangzhou streets. Alright
guys, enjoy your time. See you next time.
Alright, cheers. If you want to listen to more episodes, you need to go to sourcefindasia.com/madeinchina. That's the name of the podcast. You can follow us at Twist. Number 1 was smartphone with the apps that we mentioned.
Yep.
Number 2
and the
was
VPN, having the VPN with the smartphone.
VPN was number. I think VPN is number 2 because VPN is just smartphone and on your computer.
Next one was bag, having a bag somewhere where you can carry all your valuables and necessities.
Yeah, that's number 3, and number 4 is what?
Earbuds. Having headphones.
Number 5
was cash, and then we also mentioned business cards as something that could help you out here.
Alright, so it's
Your time in China.
5 plus essentials. I don't want to change the title. I'm gonna keep it as 5. So 5 plus essentials that you need when you're out here in these mean Guangzhou streets.
Alright guys, enjoy your time. See you next time.
Alright, cheers. If you want to listen to more episodes, you need to go to sourcefindasia.com/madeinchina. That's the name of the podcast. You can follow us at Twitter at sourcefindasia. We have a Periscope account, so sometimes we post up these random videos. Not that random, but same name at sourcefindasia for Periscope.